Alright then, welcome back. And Happy New Year, I guess. I hope everyone had joyful celebration of whatever you may be celebrating during this time of year, be it Yuletide or Krampusnacht. But yes, we return. Oh no, wait, not not with that one, with this one. With more Book of Hours. Center slot, weary wrist, shift-click sends to the nearest workstation, control-click to the nearest verb. You can change these keyboard shortcuts in settings. Oh. Huh, okay. Didn't know that. Well, to be honest, I didn't vacation much. I mostly just celebrated and also had to deal with some stuff that came in rather unexpectedly. But yes, that's mostly taken care of now. And so now I have to remember where the hell we were. Oh wow, I've completely forgotten everything. Oh, right, we wanted to host a salon, didn't we? Yes, indeed. Okay, and, what have we prepped? Yes, that also, which means we have to take care of Inks of Revelation. We do have the clouds today, which is already great. And then, luckily I already have my notes up. So point moth. We'd have Impulse, the old moment, and wait, didn't we also have intuition? Why am I not getting that one? Is it because I'm currently using case sensitivity? Huh? Oh, intuition was Rose Moon. What? Huh. And then, what else is there? Could have sworn there was, a second regular moth memory beside Impulse. Or am I making that up? Well, considering it has been a time, I'm maybe. Alright, so we have Intuition, the Old Moment, the Curious Hunch. That's, 3 already, 4 with the clouds. And then that would mean we would need 3 lantern memories. We have Revelation, Sight, and Foresight. But could we perhaps... No, I think... Yeah. That'll have to do. Which means... Yeah, we'll need to use up the Curious Hunch, and, you know, we need to create the Old Moment. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. So, yeah, we do have everything we need to get this to level 8, but, it'll need all our resources, and we need to feed the Hungry Relic first of all. Hungry Relic, quarrelsome until it feeds again. So you take eggs as well. And I guess also ham. Let's use some fast. Feed the beastie, satisfy this creature's appetite. Food will make a hungry beast or a wild one cooperative. And then, well, do we want to unlock a room today? Honestly, probably not. That's a bit much, considering everything else. Hold on, let me drink. Considering everything else we've planned for today. So we need a site which we can get from considering paintings. Which paintings have we yet to consider? Which interesting one at least? I think this one, for example, we haven't considered yet. Glory's Gift. Uh-huh. Investigate the object. Well, actually, let's use our code, rather. You won't use this up or consume it by doing this, so that should most likely give us sight. Then revelation from letters to my successor, which was this one. So, okay, shift-click to the nearest workbench. Okay, but that only seems to work for items in our inventory, question mark, because currently it's not working. So, letters to my successor here, or revelation, then sight from the considering the painting, foresight from Visant's minglings. Where are you, Visant? Ah, there we go. Visant's minglings. The metallurgist and skysmith Everett Visant speaks of the sacred alloys. The alloys eternal, the alloys sufficient, the alloys intendant, ... So yeah, a bunch of alloys. Oh, that's not my intention. Hold on, let me use this workstation with some tryst. Visant's minglings, forge the work accomplished, and then we need impulse, right? From just, we do have a spare. We have a tuppence, not a, but we do have a shilling, so let's break that one up. Break a shilling. The postmistress will accept the offering and bestow upon me the appropriate change. This is the smallest coin she will deign to change. Surrender silver, collect copper. There we go. The penny. Sea's edge. The sea is always hungry. The sea never sleeps. The sea accepts offerings. Discard objects here. Release beasts. Or go for a swim. Renounce. Why? Why not? Dispose of a stray penny. And then... yeah, that's basically everything. And what else could we do today? Perhaps read something, but honestly, not that necessary considering how much other stuff we're doing today, mainly the salon, of course. Just to double check and make sure we have everything for that salon. We have roast pheasant, magnificent roast potatoes, boiled egg, baked pear meringue, mushroom and potato bake. So this is the main course. This is a second main course to get that scale going. Oh, heart, food and drink. We do have heart We do have scale, but do we have enough scale? So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Okay, so we need, I think, a 4th scale in form of a drink to satisfy Mr. 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫. So yeah, let's get into the Schloss Jannings. And then Dr. Serena Blackwood, she likes forage, food and drink. We need 3. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Wonderful. And then Dr. Yvette Southey, she will eat or drink anything. Oh, hello, Smurfton. Oh, nice. How did it go? Definitely quite a different experience from Book of Hours. Actually, hold on, let's speed this along a tad. And the waves march on. Impulse. Wonderful. Pour it out. Schloss Jannings. So that's, we have in total 5 guests, which means 5 drinks. No, not that. That's the wrong room. So 1 drink. What would be nice for the other ones? Some forge stuff. I mean, technically not necessary, but hey, why not be a more accommodating host? Yeah, because that's true, because in Cult Sim you often call upon the name in one of their specific names. Like, we call upon the laughing thrush, we call upon the... and so on. What's this again? Armagnan? What else could we serve? I mean, if we want to be cheap, we could serve some Isle water, and I do like being cheap, but... let's go with some Dawnline coffee, why don't we? And I think that's everything, right? Oh no, we need 1 more drink. Oh yeah. £3, I'm practically aristocracy. Yeah, honestly, let's get rid of this, let's actually draw some more. Hold on. What can we use here? Oh, okay. Draw up water. There we go. Signed Nina Lagasse. Doesn't mean anything to me, the name, I think at least. Okay, but that's Sight, Impulse, Clouds, that's 3 out of 4. The Curious Hunch is 5, the Old Moment will be 6. Wait, Sight, Memory, Impulse, Curious Hunch, Clouds. Old Moment, 6, and then we have, oh, did I miscount? No, I haven't tried dinner yet, mainly because, I'm worried to miss the timing, but Yeah, I don't think we have time for dinner, because our guests will be leaving by then. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's, turns out counting to 7 is pretty hard. But in this case, I think we've overcounted, which is good, because it'll mean we can keep, the curious hunch. So, we have clouds, memory impulse, sight, foresight, revelation, old moment... Oh no, wait, I did count correctly. Right? Okay. Sight, impulse, clouds, curious hunch, foresight, revelation. Oh god, well, I guess we'll just see. Once these are done, well, okay, no, once this is done and we can then talk to the relic again, and then we'll be done. Time with the beastie. Okay. Sight, revelation, impulse, foresight, clouds, old moment, curious hunch. Yeah, okay, so we do have the exact amount we need. Yeah, that's true. I'm just worried because, I think either today or tomorrow we're going to reach summer. Okay, it's now midday. So yeah, I think time for the salon. Where's the, there we go. Oh, right, lunch. My guests take their places for lunch. Keep an eye on the salon as it progresses. You'll need to add soul cards to encourage the conversation to flow. Different guests will need different soul cards. The more guests, the longer the saloon lasts. Okay, and just to make sure, if I remove... Yeah, okay. So we have exactly enough for everything. Oh, God. Purge this evil. There we go. And, yes. Yeah, because I mean, thus far I've really only found Impulse as as like a simple moth memory. Yes, well, what can you do? Okay, so 5 guests, that's our new record. Let's hope we'll be up for the challenge. A formal meal, lunch and supper lasts longer than less formal salons, allowing an extra interaction between your guests. Time with the beastie, and now it suggests a meal would be welcome. And we have the Ankh moment. You've had them too, those moments when you look out at the world through another's eyes. What if those moments were real? Okay, and now, Inks of Revelation. Lesson Inks of Revelation. Some, I guess Whist, Sight, Revelation, Old Moment, Curious Hunch, Foresight, Impulse, and the clouds. At last, I approach mastery. Improve this skill to level 8. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more, but I don't think that actually raises the number of interactions. But in any case, this is definitely the most we've had thus far ourselves. Wistful asides, instinct and emotion, add a tryst card, the change and the longing. Some of them, I think. I think actually Timothy... I actually think Timothy doesn't have this information, but maybe that's just an oversight. But I don't... I seem to recall that Timothy actually doesn't have this information, that he is less productive on lessons. Alright, what do we have here? Wistful asides. Yvette and Fraser discuss his further dreams of eyes and his theories about the entry of the Simafectra kind, that the Thuritish kind and the Thirtish kind to human flesh. Yvette wonders aloud whether he has ever considered that most, perhaps all of the dreams arise from his own frustrated desire for fatherhood. In a fit of temper, he snatches off the glove on his changed hand and displays its glossy, altered angles to her. For a moment, there is silence at the table. Lessons, pentiments, and precursors. Is that a new one? We have transformation and liberation. I think that's a new one. Red bug, yeah, I don't think... Oh, there we go. Feats and feats of forgotten things, the Carpus Cross, the line of Antaios, the world of a low red sun. Though much is taken, much abides. Okay, so not a new one, but Salon, what next? Conversation ebbs and flows. Instinct and emotion. Add a tryst card, okay. Let's hope those are the last tryst cards we'll need. Actually, no, we don't have time to recharge our tryst, do we? This skill is now level 8. Its power aspects have also increased. 9 lantern, 8 moth. By far the strongest in either, if I'm not mistaken. Because, yeah, this has... I mean, I guess this has 7 moth, but... yeah, this is the strongest. Definitely in lantern. The only thing that comes close is the 6 lantern of Oral Contemplations. We can definitely do some interesting stuff with that. 1 second. I think it can go up to level 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, no, level 9. Okay, so 1 more. And for that one, we'll probably need to cannibalize lessons, but since that's the last one, I'm not really fussed about that. Okay. So, I'm currently wondering, is it worth trying to recuperate a tryst in case they need another one for the salon? Probably not, because we just don't have the time. These go by really quickly. Wistful asides. Yvette is considering keeping her notes in 𝐲𝐿𝐴 for safety. Serena advises her on some of the dangers of 𝐲𝐿𝐴 use and storage. You know, I write my delivery forms in 𝐲𝐿𝐴, the librarian says, and everyone turns to them with like, you what? Yeah, that's probably true, but at the same time, since it's the last, you know, since past that, the lessons won't be good for anything else, might as well, right? Salon, what next? Inject a little gaiety at a core card. Gaiety. Anyways, oh yeah, I've mastered this, the Chandler's Wish. I've also documented this, right? Yes, that gives us foresight. Okay, so that then goes, here, I suppose. Yeah. I think anthrax is just a really good pigment to write my letters with. It has nothing, there's no... Lively chatter. Denzel's eyes widen at the sight of Yvette. He inclines his head respectfully, but barely responds to any of her questions. Interesting. Just realizing there's so much stuff here. They don't even all fit on the screen. Salon, what next? Conversation ebbs and flows. More core. Uh-huh. Oh! Well, look at that. A delivery from Carter and Hero. Unwrap, unbox, unleash. Yeah, let's do that, sure. And, Yvette questions Stanislav about the Carniolan, I think, Carniolan heresy, which perceived the moon as a chrysalis and the sun as its imago. Stanislav is entertaining on the details of the heresy, but finds himself unable to enlighten Yvette on its motives and origins. Chrysalis and imago, was that another pair of moth names or long? Because imago is like a specific type of moth long or name, I think. Maybe chrysalis too? I don't know. A reasoned discussion. Raise a complex question. Add a whist card. Okay. Name memory, that part which remains. Most librarians know that books have souls. Most librarians hope for books with simple souls of whist and nothing more. Probably, yes. Yvette does her best to put Denzel at his ease. He is plainly very wary of her. Okay. I wonder why. He remains polite, but taciturn, even by his own taciturn standards. He does eventually admit that in Brankrug there is a tradition that it is bad luck to insult, or buy from, or to drink with a pale-haired woman. Lesson, sea stories. Carinolia is apparently a historical regent in present Slovenia. Ah, okay. I mean, the Amethyst Imago... But the Amethyst Imago definitely wasn't supposed to be paired with Matthias. Their love was very much illicit, if I remember correctly. So we have sugar, flour, and dripping. Cool. Oh, and let's also put the Isle water back down here. What am I doing with that paint? Dusk blue. Hold on. This is where I store my paint. Well, I mean, you can do it somewhere other than Brankrug. And also, just want to mention again, we get less than C stories from this, so I'm almost certain that this tradition comes because of Eva the Wolf. Wistful as... Oh, god damn it. Damn it. 3 times the same card. Okay. Yeah, no, we can't provide, sadly. Lively meal concludes. My guests leave happy. You've gained an additional potent memory. Okay. I mean, then you can also just decide to score in tradition, I guess. Okay, that's a lot of goddamn cards, okay. So we have C stories, right, the Fatigued Soul cards, of course. The guests, a lively salon. You held a lively salon. This is a marker to remind you that you can't hold another salon until next season. Memory satisfaction, another curious hunch, very nice. Lessons insects and nectars, memory fear, lessons inks of containment, and lessons penitence and precursors. Cool. Okay. So, at the very least, we got our Curious Hunchback, which is nice. Also, good thing then we did the, what's it? The upgrading before the salon. Yeah, because I had a curious hunch. We'd get another curious hunch. Yes, we do have insects and nectars on level... where is it? The level 4 already. Okay. Hold on. Let's tackle the simpler ones first. For example, pentiments and precursors. So that's a simple matter of just using the satisfaction here together with, I guess, Merep. There's always more to learn. And then next up, I think we'll go for the Rites of the Roots. The first one's gonna be easy with just Impulse and then Scent, I guess. So, okay, where to get Scent? I know we can do... yeah, I guess we can just dissect another Lenten Rose. Yeah, that would be... This would be a really bad time for Numa now. Okay, I will just dissect the Lenten Rose. We'll get, Impulse. I think we have enough time for that today. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, let's, get rid of that. Oh, what was that? Was that someone departing, or? I think so. Yeah. I guess they can't leave all at once? Can I spill? No, I can't. Yeah. I don't know why they don't all leave at once, but who knows. This skill is now level 2. Its power aspects have also increased. And then, yeah, dissect the lantern rose with pet, I guess. And also I just realized we haven't worked at sweet bones at all today, which I guess is fine because we needed the soul for the salon, but you know. Okay. What to save till tomorrow? I guess the only non-persistent memory we'll leave until we won't use today is fear, but I don't think we can dream on that anyways, so I guess we won't dream on anything. Yeah, we have to be a bit quick now. No, okay. But, I mean, worst case scenario, we start tomorrow with 1 fewer pet, which, oh no, I guess. Oh no, anyways. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Ah, okay, we started working too late. Oh well. And now, yeah, today probably it's gonna go from spring to summer. What was the worker for spring again? I forget. Oh, a gale! Trees bend, walls creak, travelers bend low against the blast. Ah, much better. So, from a minor. Right. Scale and forge, but, we don't really... Do we really need scale or forge at the moment? I don't think so. I mean, I guess forge, but there's always better options. Yeah, a little moon. But at that point... Yeah. I mean, first of all, I want to see what the summer helper is again. But yeah, ultimately I'll probably go for funky help. This skill is now level 3. Its power aspects have also increased. Okay, what's next? Inks of Containment. That's currently level, where is it? Oh, just level 1. I thought for sure that would be higher, but I guess not. So... I guess... Yeah, let's just read to a pale lady for that salt. To a pale lady, there we go. Lignum vitae blank. Do I have that? I think I do. Hawthorn blank. Lignum. Ah, yeah, right. Yeah, that's the. Is there something special we can feed miners? I don't know actually. Also, our last opportunity now to gather in spring. Oh yeah, right. We wanted that mushroom meringue. So. Oh, meringue. Meringue. Doesn't the... No, the gardener or whatever his name was didn't take flowers, the poet does. Yeah, that's fair. We do have the gale today, which could be good for some of this heart stuff we have. For example, the blackened staff room, the same story as the yard below. Seared bones, blackened walls, furniture half consumed by fierce fire. But much of the room remains untouched. And then we have the gaping darkness. Thunder prowls the entrance to this cave. A dying curse or a capricious storm spirit. It must be dealt with carefully. We also have the collapsed cellar. The roof has fallen in. We'll need to dig it out. And yeah, that's, I think, what we can unlock with heart. So one option obviously would be Mrs. 𝐲𝐚𝐫, but probably better to go for an unusual helper. Hold on, with Gale, that's 3. Core, that's 5. God damn it. And then Ham, for example, that would be 7. And then then we have this thing is kind of misleading because it literally has the heart symbol on the bottle, but it's actually much stronger in Grail, which I find confusing, but sure. Also, this is also strong in Grail. What was strong? Do we have a 6 thing for heart? I guess not. But perhaps we don't need it. If we... So that's 1 heart. Do we have any, like, simple drink with 2... That's also 1 heart. No heart. 1 heart. No heart. Islewater has heart? What? But it's like still, why? Okay. No, this doesn't have heart. I guess we're stuck with 1 heart drinks. So to recoup then, the ham is, so Gale plus core, that's 5. Ham is 7, drink is 8. Then we have the kitchen bowl, that's 9. So I guess if we want to go into one of these, Mrs. 𝐲𝐚𝐫 would be enough. Right? Because, no wait, she has 1 heart, not 2. Yeah. So... Sacrament Calcite Collector's Edition, that's funny. So was that... which one was that? Ah, this one. Well, I would say that it would make sense for the Ruby-Wise Ruin to have 6 hearts, since there's literally a heart on the label, but, well, what do I know? Mm-hmm. None of these T's happen to have 2 heart, do they? Sadly, no. Okay. So... yeah, I'm trying to calculate how to get to 11 heart, and I think with Mrs. 𝐲𝐿𝐫 we're short 1 heart if we want to get to 11. However, we can always, you know, try for like a special worker, or maybe we can find a seasonal worker in summer who has 2 heart. I don't know. Let's just let this progress some more. And what else are we doing right now again? Right, the memory salt for inks of containment. What other lessons can we learn today? Sea stories. Yeah, let's go with sea stories next. So that's Grail and Moon. So contradiction from the Wainscot histories. Where are they? There we go. Wainscot histories with the Trist. No, I mean Frost, I guess. Oh, it's the wrong one. Or huh? Oh. Health maybe. You know the thing I didn't yeah, I do think using unusual workers is probably easier. So I'll do that. Okay, so that's a contradiction, and then Sea Stories is also Grail, so Grail... that would be Satisfaction from Crittling Ripe's Tasty Treats. And also the Beguiling Memory, right? From the Lake Fuccio recordings. What is that thing? Or Fucino recordings, rather. My mistake. Hold on. There we go. Now let's use the Tryst. And then that should be everything. I liked it the poor source of light that meant no need to work ever. Really? Because... okay. What's this now? What was that noise? Yeah, that's also something I'm kind of noticing, that You know, Cultist Simulator can certainly be grindy, but kind of the threat does add a bit more. It does, you know, constantly having to, you know, juggle with the threats does make it a bit more exciting in my opinion. Memory salt. Beguiling melody. Contradiction, and then satisfaction. Okay, so first things first, inks of containment with salt. Oh, I always do this wrong for some reason. So, oh, okay, so shift right click does that. Okay. Cool. So memory salt, and then some waste, I guess. Oh, hello, 𝐲𝐸𝐿. Well, as long as your work isn't, I don't know, flight coordinator or oversight in a nuclear reactor, I am happy to be of distraction. Yeah, the immortal assassin snail with the dread fascination and the evidence and the, you know, what's it. And also I just think, you know, it's not really... It's what I think is kind of an unfair criticism of Book of Hours in a way that, you know, Cultist Simulator was, in my opinion, kind of lightning in a bottle, because it was so simplistic, and that kind of made it, you know, it was kind of perfected in its simplicity, and for this type of game, I definitely understand why you would want to make the next game more complex, because you can't just repeat yourself, but, you know, with that complexity, you do kind of inevitably lose some of that simple perfection, you know, the lightning in a bottle type thing. But yeah, I think there was no real way, like, that's kind of unfair, I think, in a way, to expect expect the next game to pull off the same trick, so to speak, but still it is, you know, it is still a point worth mentioning. Yeah, I honestly, just the loading screen today reminded me, or I guess told me that was even possible. Okay. And now, the C stories. We have contradiction, satisfaction, and the beguiling melody for C stories. With the lesson, of course, and some effort. I guess the Ereb. Another fruit plucked from knowledge's tree. Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm a hoarder of wealth, so, also, I'm surprised we haven't gotten over, we haven't, gone over to summer yet. I would have assumed, that would happen by now. Weird. Which means, hold on, actually, we're kind of... We may be in a spot of bother here. Yeah, that's, I don't want to waste the gale, so actually, let me... Oh, do we still have enough time? Oh god, I don't know. Okay, no, actually... I think what we're gonna do is... actually speak with Mrs. 𝐲𝐽, and then we're just gonna give her... some of that linen. But just in case, I'm also gonna fish for unusual help, just in case we get lucky. So, first thing to boost her with would be the kitchen bowls. Missing sky for what? We're currently trying to get heart, not sky. Because, yeah, we don't have any... Don't think we actually have any sky rooms currently. Yeah, no, only heart. Actually, hold on, if we're already giving her fabrics... Oh, could theoretically give that to Mrs. 𝐲𝐽𝐫, but that would be a waste, so no thank you. Do we have any, perhaps, more... Oh, this basket of towels has 2 heart. So with that we could actually get into here. Oh. Oh. Right, that's true. Oh, but she can use these things. Okay. Do I have a heart fabric? Oh god, I don't. Or do I? Oh, right, a human hair, but that's, that doesn't have heart either. No. Yeah, I gave her a tool and we used that doll a while ago. Okay, yeah, I think that's kind of that. Unless we somehow manage to get an unusual... But I think even if we get, you know, a 4-heart helper from here, I don't think we have enough time. Right? Because they don't want to work at night, do they? Okay, well, in that case, too late anyway at this point. So... Yeah, but that's not enough, no matter who we... Yeah, that's something we can still do today. With the gale, I guess sky, hold on, what's our highest sky? The putrefacitions and exaltations, I think, so that's 6 sky. What's our best sky workbench? What are our sky workbenches? So... Fast, the Gale, and Putrefacitions and Exaltations. For a scholar of a recipe, and if I use an instrument, I can use the experience as an inspiration for sky-focused music. Hold on. Does our current bed have sky? No, it doesn't. Hold on. So this is an Ascendant Harmony. Conjure bright sky music, purifications with and exaltations with scholar level sky plus instrument creates Ascendant Harmony. Okay. Hold on. This is memories. This is crafting. There we go. Heart, Moth, Lantern, Forge, Edge, Winter, Nox, Scale, Moon, Rose, Nectar. Oh, I forgot to even include Sky here. Sky. And then... Craft Ascendant Harmony. So that's 10. But I could go higher for... Currently at 10 exactly. How could I go higher? Well... Honestly, yeah, let's go for this. Why not? And, well, realistically... This is probably gonna have some kind of aspect we can dream on, or, you know, at least use for some other crafting. Oh, okay, this is gonna be close. Consulting engineer. Okay. Well, too late. Alright, we're gonna have to be very, very precise with this. There we go. Ascendant Harmony, a bright and ringing music which evokes the blue sweep of the lower heavens. Okay. Can we dream on that? No, we can't. Damn. Oh, but it's persistent actually. Okay. Never mind then. Worried for nothing. So... What's this again? 2 points lantern, 4 points sky. 2 points lantern, 4 points sky. Okay, that's also another lantern memory, should we ever need it. For example, you know, for the 8th Ink of the 9th Ink of Revelation. And then, hold on, let me... More Hawthorn blanks. Can I... Yeah, no, I think we can only fit one of those there. Where do I put the other ones? Oh, I don't know. So, hold on. Let me put this over here. Like so. And then the wood. Where do I... Oh god. Church solar. Where exactly? That's a good point. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of window sills here, so sure. Okay, and should the next season be Numa, that would be not ideal, but we'd manage. All we currently have is Rites of the Roots and Insects and Nectars. Oh, you can store stuff there? Oh, I didn't know that. Cool, good to know. Okay, let's just speed this up. Okay, daybreak. Now, first things first, the weather. Sunny. The sun is not what it was, but today he is smiling. Then, alright, insects and nectars. We have contradiction, intuition, and salt, so... to a pale lady... and wainscot histories... Where is it? There it is. And then, oh, I don't know. Intuition, either the fire circle tantra or we just throw another penny in the ocean. Yeah, honestly, let's do that. And then the last memory will just need some nectar, so... Right, that was the impulse. And intuition was actually... I keep mixing them up for some reason. That was the fire circle tantra. So... that one, right? Yup. Okay, there we go. So that's everything we need for insects and nectars, and then for rites of the roots, that's 3, so we'll need impulse again. And then... scent, I guess. And then maybe we need, well, I guess the earth sign or the old moment. Let's just use the earth sign then. Wait, is it a settled thing that the low red sun is the egg on hatching? I've seen a claim on Reddit that it's the wheel, and it had a lot of evidence, but the colors of the horizon and the palest painting seem to be pretty clear on it. Yeah, at least that's what I get on it. I don't seem to recall any kind of mention of the egg, of the wheel being associated with the sun, despite maybe its shape. But that's about it. Yeah, like, because I'm pretty sure the palest painting about the egg unhatching even mentions something about a low red sun, so... And the waves march on. Okay. And then, well, I guess we'll do the exact same thing again. A faded pale white gold seen in certain patches of the sky when the mist is clearing, but the sun might be mistaken for the moon. We hold our breath and watch it brighten until each color divides from the next like a new minted alphabet. The egg unhatching. I'm not sure, but I think, you know, the sun in splendor replaced the egg unhatching during the lithomancy, if I understand it correctly. I actually don't know I don't remember exactly what happened to the egg unhatching. Right. Contradiction. And salt. And intuition. Okay, so for insects and nectars we need impulse, contradiction, salt, this stuff. What do we need? What do we want to use? I guess this. So satisfying to have come so far. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the egg unhatching, it's kind of... The egg unhatching also became the Watchman, which is kind of... like, if I understand correctly, it's like a contradiction in and of itself. I'm not so sure on the details, to be honest. Okay, it's... Oh, right, the thingy has to move entirely to the center of... I forgot how the seasons are counted again. So we actually had quite a bit of time left in spring. For some reason I keep mixing that up. And the waves march on. Then scent, I mean... we can just pick any kind of flower, really, and then dissect it. You know, for example, the moth orchids. And then if we dissect that, we get scent. Alright, this skill is now level 5. Its power aspects have also increased. Which means, actually, we can now commit it to either 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫 or the Bosk. The Grail's favorlings, the bright-winged, dark-winged, glitter-fleur's kind, called themselves the Grail's favorlings. They're gone now, like all the carapace kinds, but we can still use the arts of the hive to gleam the sweetness in the hidden places of the wood, the legacy of the carapace cross, Bosk. Or, alternatively, what was it? 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫. Here. The moth's spawn, the bright-winged, dark-winged, kind, called themselves the moth's spawn. They're gone now, like all the carapace kinds, but we can still use the arts of the nest to follow the old roads of the night, the legacy of the carapace cross. 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫. Okay, so get a 4th Fet or a 2nd Ereb. Or actually, hold on, because we need level 4 here, and this is actually level 5 now, so that might actually be something of a waste. Unlike, for example, Sea Stories, which... well, that actually, that would also maybe be a waste to put here. But we can also put it at Bird Song. Oh, where it would also kind of be a waste. Hold on. It's the Seaborn, the Legion Morgan, holder of the key of black sapphire, called Seaborn, tide drawn. Did she come from east behind the wave? If we speak her name at the rising of the moon, we can summon that old song. Can we summon that old song of flutes and bells? These are birdsong riddles. And then 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫. The Legion Rowena, holder of the mare's key, called Sea Opener Wolfwife. Rowena, we've heard that before. We've heard that name before. Let me actually note this down. Who was Rowena exactly? Oh, yeah, something like that. But wait, isn't the Secretary Persistent, someone you can, oh no, okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah, now I remember. Interesting, Wolfwife. Whom did she invite from east behind the wave? When the moon sets across the sea, will they follow its road again? This matter of roads and keys is 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫, but both of those would kind of be a waste of a level 4 or 5 skill when you only need level 3. Hold on. Actually, hold on. We can put this here now, right? Yeah, for, a 5th health. I mean... do we have any other options? Oh yeah, 𝐸𝐻𝐻𝐼RA. For also another health, okay. Here we can put Sea Stories. Here we could put nothing. Ugh, so many skills. It's kind of... like, genuinely difficult to put them all on screen at the same time and still be able to... Ugh. Okay, yeah, these are genuinely... We don't have any, like, level 3 skills that can... Oh, well. And here... Similar issue, right? Yeah, we can actually fit nothing here in Oromachistry. Strange. But yeah, here we can put either Rites of the Roots, which we could alternatively put with Bosk, or 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐸, which we could put alternatively... Oh, also Bosk. Well, I guess in that case... in that case, it really doesn't matter. So this is... What is given? The oldest living hours are the gods who were blood. The gods from stone were older still. Oh, the oldest living hours are the gods who were blood. The gods from stone were older still, but they're buried in the earth, scattered in the sea, lost to the moon. This is why we're always careful when we make the sacrifice. Without it, the gods from stone would pass from memory. This is preservation. And the 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐸 is... Oh, come on. The light, the night, the wood. What lit the wood in the days before its darkening? There was a light upon the earth long before glory came to the sky. Preserve the night, and the light might return. New health. Oh, hello, is Shadow. Yeah, we're doing well. We're progressing along the Tree of Wisdoms. We just had a lively salon where, sadly, I couldn't provide the last soul card, a third tryst, but otherwise that went quite well. Now... Okay, well... No, this still asks for level... If I can get Rites of the Roots to level 4, I can commit it to Bosk, and then commit Insects and Nectars to level 5 right away. So yeah. That's, I think that's the route we're gonna take. I wonder, could we get 13? Is there a sky memory? Oh yeah, right, the Beguiling Melody. Hold on. Let me... Yeah, because I'm thinking, what if we can actually use the Ascendant Harmony to get to Sky 15? Certainly within reach. Then what else could we do today? Oh right, we wanted to... We're still picking the Moth Orchid, and then once we dissect that, we'll have... enough nectar to, you know, so... what do we... I guess health, maybe? Dissect the flower, nothing will remain. And then, since we're still in spring, let's gather some more. Maybe we'll finally find those mushrooms. Traditionally, the flower of the library called the Tomb of Lies, where truth yet lives. Tomb of Lies. I don't think we know of that library. Okay, so now with rights of the roots, this, and this, and this. Another fruit plucked from Knowledge's tree improve this skill to level 4, and then we can commit it to the Bosk, and then we can also commit insects and nectars to the Bosk. Hello, Beans. We're currently progressing on Knowledge's tree, because in a moment we'll have enough to commit rights of the roots to Bosk, and we already have insects and nectars ready and waiting to also be committed to the Bosk. As soon as we've committed that one. Yep, as it no doubt will for quite some time after, hopefully. This skill is now level 4. Its power aspects have also increased. Okay. And so that means we have either preservation or the Bosk. Preservation would be what is given. The oldest living hours are the... Oh, okay, yeah, we've already read this a moment ago, so that's pretty much the exact same. What is given? The oldest living hours are the gods who were blood. The gods from stone were older still, but they're buried in the earth, scattered in the sea, lost to the moon. This is why we're always careful when we make the sacrifice, because if we spilt enough blood on their graves, they'd return for their revenge. Bosk knows. So that's our third Arab card, I think, and this, I think, will give us our fifth. The Grail's favorlings, the bright-winged, dark-winged, glitterflush kind, called themselves the Grail's favorlings. They're gone now, like all the carapace kinds, but we can still use the arts of the hive to glean the sweetness in the hidden places of the wood, the legacy of the carapace cross, Bosk. And 1 and 2. Sweet. Literally. I think some of the gods from stone still, are still alive in the House of the Moon. Right, the Velvet statue. Where was that again? Here. In chains for some reason, which is slightly concerning, but oh well. And then, right, we have the Beguiling Memory, we have the Ascendant Harmony, we have Sunny, and then, you know, the skill and stuff. So. Okay. Craft Ascendant Harmony, but they won't tell us what the scholar level... I mean the keeper level recipe is for purifications and exaltations. With each turn of its cilia pulse and wriggle, and its body flushes translucent to crimson. It might be ugly, but it is beautiful, like the withdrawing of blood from the labyrinths of glass. It does not cease, and all its involutions are infinite. Well, yeah, it's red, but I don't think it's the sun. Like, the wheel is more the precursor of the heart. Of the heart unceasing. So, I mean, it's sun-shaped with, you know, the central body and the ciliae going outwards, but other than that, because wasn't it hunted in the wood, which means it wasn't in the sky. I mean, it's more shaped like, you know, a single-celled organism with a lot of ciliae, which, you know, is, if you squint, kind of shaped like a stylized version of a sun with, you know, the wiggly sun rays. I don't actually know. Okay, so we can't get a keeper level recipe like this. What other sky workbenches do we have? I think this up here? Yeah, this was... Huh. So... here I could add either a pet, but I don't think... do we have any sky pets? Oh, the magnificent cockatoo. Again, we're getting to 15 sky, but we're missing something for the scholar level recipe, but it won't tell us what. And yeah, we do need to feed our turtle as well. And yeah, we do have the pet gull as well. I mean, it makes sense for the birds to have sky, since, you know, they can fly. Maybe something like a blank? So, I don't think we have any paper with sky, but, you know, if we just put this in here... no, it doesn't say anything. Okay. Doesn't this have sky as well? Okay, here we could put in a tool. So... maybe with a deer day lens? Nope, still nothing. Okay, so it's not a tool, it's not an instrument, it's not a pet. I mean, are there any, like, ingredients, liquids or something like that with sky? Don't think there really are that many. Hello, Borubaradmira. Welcome in. I do have other sky skills, but nothing quite as potent. Hold on. Yeah, the others I have is Anabary, Lapidary. I do have skies, sights and sensations, which is... oh, hold on. Oh. Invoke a chilly sky influence. Sights and sensations with keeper level sky plus ascendant harmony creates Diudumos. Oh, okay. So that's memories. Where's crafting? There we go. So 15. That's craft 𝐲𝐩𝐩𝐸𝐷, whatever that is. Cool. So actually, yeah, hold on. I don't want to use this. Instead, I want to actually use this, because obviously the sunny weather is less valuable than the Deerdale ends. So that was Sights and Sensations with the boss. 𝐲𝐩𝐸𝐸𝐸. Okay, so, well, I'm hoping that one's gonna be persistent also. But yeah, okay. Keeper level sky. That's cool. Actually, what's our lantern? Alright, the xanthotic. Have we ever figured out how to make xanthotic essence? Right, with the bitter black salts. How do we make bitter black salts again? Oh, hold on. 5 forge creates bitter black salts. Okay. And then we can make bitter black salts into xanthotic essence. Yeah, I figured it out. Luckily my notes availed me, but I do think we actually still have some bitter black salts, so let's use those up first. Yep, there we go. So, I think Inks of Revelation is probably the skill we need here. No, this just makes refulgence, so we probably need something else. Maybe Auroral Contemplations? No, that makes Torque's Cleanse. Okay, we'd need an additional memory, I guess, or alternatively, since we're currently just testing, let me just... okay, so with Auroral Contemplations we can make xanthotic essence. Okay, so we just need a solution. Wait, we need a memory. 2 sky memories, so that would be Revelation. Where is it? Nope. Revelation. Letters to my successor, right. So... there we go. And... letters to my successor. Metal... Really? I guess... hold on, how many forge crafting recipes do we currently have? Currently, I have bitter black salts and Westcott's compounds. I do really need to expand my repertoire of recipes in general. But yeah, I guess you'd kind of expect Forge to have the most crafting recipes, since, you know, it's the aspect associated with the art of crafting. Do I still... I probably won't have enough time to finish making the xanthotic essence today, but honestly, it's probably fine. Let's use the shop here. What was this again? Abandoned luggage. I'm sure nobody will mind if we crack that open. Help with letters. And then, actually, hold on. We do have all this new stuff here. Let's actually put it into our kitchen finally. And then maybe tomorrow we can start cooking again. There we go. Dusk. Night has fallen, dawn will come soon. So yeah, I don't think we'll finish making the xanthotic essence today, but you know, that's fine. All that means is we'll have one less boss to work with tomorrow, but seeing as how we've managed to accrue 4 of them by now, that's not really much of a problem. There we go. Am I missing something? Oh, I think you also need... Wait, huh? Wait, do you just not need the... Do you just not need the bitter black salts, I guess that was wrong? Huh? Huh, okay. Yeah, I guess the book was wrong. Maybe that's a different lantern recipe for the same stuff. Okay, I guess in that case we can just use... that's not a liquid. What's like the cheapest liquid we can... Well, hold on, I know what the cheapest liquid is. We can just use some isle water, can't we? And then... like so, like so, like so, like so. Craft xanthotic essence. Lighten this liquid to a golden essence of lantern power. So that's under lantern. 10 craft xanthotic essence. Oh, shit. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so we actually have everything, so that means we figured out the full pipeline to mass-produce Uzult now, which is... that's pretty good. Which means that we can now use our Uzult without much concern, because we know how to easily make, you know, easily, quote-unquote, we do need 3 separate... well, I guess just 2 separate recipes to make it, but, you know, we can essentially make it from scratch with just isle water, and that means we can now regularly use this to read books, which is huge, because, you know, 7 lanterns, 7 moths, 7 sky, which basically means now that any book with moth, lantern, or sky mystery, we can do it. For example, Moth 12, written in Fuchin. So that would be... yeah, honestly, this one's really easy. We just need... that would honestly be a waste. We just need... hold on. Because this is already 2 moth, this is already 8 moth, that's 10, and then we just need intuition again, or impulse. You know, Ozult was used to write the first history. Sucks that you can't make your own aspects of big ink for your own history. Wait, I don't think I quite follow, but, oh, this is... Wait, I picked up the wrong book. My mind is, porridge. So this one we can read even without the Ozult, and then, you know, like some really high up there stuff. Any lantern mystery? Any sky mystery? Oh, come on. That's knock. Mystery 14 lantern. Opus magnum caeruleum. Well, because... Well, we have the Inks of Revelation, that's already 9. The Faust, that's 11. Then Revelation, that's 13, and then the Dear Day Lens, that's 14. Okay, never mind. We can also do this without the Uzult. And then what else? I thought we had more Mystery Sky books. I guess this one, but, you know, again, not really that high. Because, well, actually, that one might actually be worth it. But first, we should probably take a look at this one. You know, Mystery Sky 12. Because the insects and nectars, that's... or purifications and exaltations, that's 6. With the Faust, that's 7. And then with the Uzult, we get to 14. And this is 12, so a bit of a waste, but not that much of a waste. Yeah, I think that's the highest sky. Actually, yeah, hold on, let me just... I keep forgetting that I can highlight the... Oh, I do have higher. Mystery Sky 16. Focus of Amber. So, insects and nectars plus Faust, that's 7, plus Uzult, that's 14. And then... we'd be just 1 short. Because we do have sky tools, but we only have a 1 sky tool. I don't remember which one at the moment, but I'm pretty sure we had us. Oh wait, no, wait, the Dear Day Lens, the Dear Day Lens! That's 2 skies, so we can actually... We can crack the 16 sky here. Holy... this is written in Deep Mendake. Do we have Deep Mendake? No, I don't think we have that one yet. So I guess we'll go for this one, which is written in Vak. Which, pretty sure we do have that one, yes. Okay, yeah. The Origins of Ours. We can read this one, shockingly. Oh, right, that's true. I keep forgetting. So we need... Oh. But hold on, we can't use the 𝐲𝐩𝐸 lens, but we can use the beguiling melody. Right? So the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐷 here, that's where the book is, so that's already full. Fost plus skill, that's 7, the 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐷, that's 14, and then the beguiling melody, that's 16. Cool, okay, so not the 𝐲𝐸𝐸𝐸 lens, but the beguiling melody. Actually, speaking of 𝐲𝐸𝐸𝐸 lenses, we did use one of them recently, so perhaps not bad to, you know, build up our supply again. So yeah, all these 3 like really high level books we can read tomorrow. However, since we're gonna switch seasons tomorrow, I'm first gonna, you know, check if that next season might be Numa, in which case obviously, you know, we're not gonna read them yet. Oh, another lignum vitae blank, the hardest of all woods. Then, I mean, if I work now, I'm gonna lose the soul card tomorrow, but honestly, we have so many, it's not really much of a loss. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, nothing to dream on. What was Horizon Sight again? That was just, Rose. Daybreak. Memories fade, assistance departs, but the soul is refreshed. Okay. And now, rain. Soft rain brings live nectar and grail. Oh, we can do something with that. Either the grail or the nectar. So we have 11 grail. That one might actually be doable with 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐴. Because, hold on. What was our highest grail tool? I think also just 1, but we do have better grail drink, don't we? Yeah, we have 2 grail drink in the domain Raveline. Now we just need to find some kind of 2 grail food. Yeah, we do have that, but obviously if an alternative, a cheaper alternative presents itself, we can make the thingy again. What was it? The fudge, right? Yeah, that's true. Though, you know, the cooking actually won't be affected by that. So let's actually start the day off by with that. Right, I think... Wait, how do we cream sugar again? Nope. Oh, you need an egg, right? Yeah, I think so. Fair point. But, you know, there are some soul cards that you can't use for gardening, no matter what, so might as well start off by using those. Jeez, okay. Didymos, the dream of a star, is not apparent to the human eye, but its presence, once felt, could not be mistaken for anything else. Didymos, no star is permitted upon earth, but we may cozen them to dream of us, and the dream of a star must take a kind of form, which we call Didymos. Thomas de Wolf. 3 lantern, 6 sky, 3 winter, 3 knock. Holy, that's powerful. Oh, also, the Ascendant Harmony was persistent. Should note that down. So, to recap, that was 3 points Lantern. 6 goddamn points in Sky. 3 points in Winter, right? Yep. And then 3 points in Knock. And it's persistent. Oh, and it's also... Oh, it's both evolved via Hush ℍ𝕠𝕦𝕤𝕤 and evolved via Oromachi's. Wow, this thing is something. So evolve via Oromachi's and evolve via Hush ℍ𝕠𝕦𝕤𝕤. Okay. With 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐻 and Usul. True, we can use this as like a Sky memory to read books. That's fucked. Oh god, that's so fucked. So straight 13 Sky with Frost, that would be 14. With our current highest Sky skill, that would be 20. 20 Sky. I mean, honestly, it's not that hard to make. It essentially just takes, what? 2 crafts. You need to craft twice. You know, once for the Ascendant Harmony and once for the thing itself. That's really not that, not that elaborate. Considering all the ingredients are just, you know, memories, which we can get about as easily as we can get anything. Oh, yeah. No, was it 20? I thought it was 21. Oh, maybe I'm mistaken. I think 21 was something in Cultist Simulator. Yeah, you need, in Cultist Simulator, you think you need 21 or 23 to exalt a follower to Ascendant status, I think. Well, anyways. Okay. So. Next step would be... Hold on, we're trying to get 11 Grail. Can we also get 12 Grail? No, right? Yeah, 11 is the highest. So yeah, let's hire Mrs. Killer. Although... wait, we can't harvest with Ereb, so that one we can actually use to recruit her without any risk. And it's summer. Okay, still no Numa. And of course, current affairs. What's happening in the world beyond Brancrack? What visitors will the season bring? We'll either draw a new incident, find a suitable visitor for the current incident, or retire the current incident if there are no visitors left for it. Okay, still no Numa. That's unusual. Because, like, how many seasons have we gone now without it? Okay, but that means... time to read this thing. Oh, wait, we need the beguiling memory first, don't we? Yes, okay. Right, I think it's more, actually. Which memory? Oh, this one. Didumos. 6 Sky, 3 Lantern, 3 Winter, 3 Knock, evolve via Hushri, evolve via Ormachistry, and it's persistent. That's like the most insane memory we've pulled thus far. It's the Keeper level Sky, Sky recipe. And funny thing is, we don't even need it to read this thing. What was that? Alright, midwife's assistance. So... Oh, right, we still can't talk because... that thing. Well, we can't use memories on, Oh, wait, yeah, you're right, we can use memories to exalt... I hadn't considered that, that's crazy. Yeah, we can use this thing to boost a follower 6 Sky points with a single memory. Which means if they're a specialized Sky helper, that would be 10 with just the memory and the helper alone. Insane. Genuinely deranged. But, okay, so we're waiting on the beguiling memory. We'd need... hold on, 𝐲𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 into impulse for this one, so let's just, you know, penny, renounce. And then, right, so this is written in Fuchin. Do these both have sky? Okay, yeah. So I can use this without worry. Huh? Can I not? Oh, I thought this desk had moth. Was I mistaken? Huh? I guess I was. Which desk has moth again? I thought for sure one of these... Yeah, I guess, probably. Yeah, okay. So... This, then the Inks of Revelation, and the Tryst. Oh, and of course we need, what's this? Fujin, right? Moth. Choice! I can master this mystery. Enough moth to match mystery moth. Okay. And then for this, opus magnum sere, whatever. The fast plus, I guess, the inks of containment which are currently in use. That's 11 already, plus the mirror scope, that's 12, and then revelation, that's 14. Okay, so I need to read letters to my successor with health, I guess? Well, no, we can't use health here. We can use whist, however. And this is... the xanthotic essence. The rich gold of a summer afternoon. If sunlight precedes moonlight, Saint Anselm observed, the metascate must precede the madrugad, and the light that was lost will remain. With keeper-level lanterns, xanthotic essence is the precursor of the great ink, Uzult, which we know of course, already. Oh, damn it. I wanted to check what the workers this season are, but I guess it doesn't really matter since we're using Mrs. Killer today anyways. And now it suggests a meal would be welcome. Okay, first things first. The Ereb. My pride will find an echo in theirs. Ereb, pride, compassion, hatred, and fear, one of the 9 parts of the human soul. Okay. The egg and the sugar. That then makes... plus the kitchenware. Oh no, that's meringue. What was cream... how do we make cream sugar again? I forget. So not with milk, not with an egg. Oh, butter. Right. Thank you. Okay. I should probably note that down. So creamed sugar is butter and sugar plus, of course, bowl. Okay, and then with that we can make, just with the creamed sugar alone, we can make fudge. And who's this? Magister ℍ𝕠𝕦𝕤𝕤𝕤, a new visitor. Magister ℍ𝕠𝕦𝕤𝕤, metallurgist gourmet, corrupted immortal, and, supposedly, a long ago king's byblow. Byblow, what's that mean again? I forget. So, might this guy perhaps teach us Deep Mandaic? And what food does he prefer? Lantern food, forge food and drink, unsurprisingly. His address is upsetting. Okay, I guess we'll have to find that out. I mean, he is a corrupted immortal, so, you know. Guess we'll make his acquaintance in due time. Okay. Interesting. Okay, Magister ℍ𝕠𝕦𝕤𝕤 interested in Forge 1. So, I guess we can't speak to him right now. but we'll do that once we've completed our work with Mrs. Killer. Okay, so, the beguiling melody. And now. Beguiling melody. Sights and sensations. Bost. The book, of course. And then finally, as the pièce de résistance, the _𝐸𝐸ult. Oh, and of course, you know, fuck. There we go. Sky harmony. I can master this mystery. Enough sky to match mystery sky. Okay. Which, of course, means we should, if we have the time, also craft a new _𝐸𝐸ult today. But I don't know if we'll find the time, since that Inks of Revelation thing is going to be quite busy. We do use Inks of Revelation for the _𝐸𝐸ult, right? _𝐸𝐸ult... yeah, Inks of Revelation. Lantern, Radiance. Right, that was that. Which we will need for this one. Okay, eagerly we anticipate our work. So, Borgrail. Then, with the weather. Talk about the weather. More useful than one might expect, especially in Britain. The influences of the turning skies can boost an assistant's ability for the rest of the day. So that's 6 Grail already. We need 5 more. So basically the fudge, and then just a drink. Or alternatively, well, no, I think that makes the most sense. Or I guess we can settle for a 1 Grail drink, but considering we have so much Domaine Raveline, I don't really see a reason to. Right, yeah, no, let's just use the Domaine Raveline. What's this? Oh, Serpentinite slab. Honestly, you know what? Let me put that one up on the church pews as well. Really don't know what to do with all of this stuff. Let me just go out there again. I mean, sooner or later we'll have to find those mushrooms, right? Right? Huh. Then... oh, wait, assistance from a traveling barber. Ah, right. In summer, the barber comes by to keep the villagers kept. A shilling will buy his services. Barbers offer moth and a little rose. Alternatively, add a soul card to find any rarer guests who might be seeking employment. So moth. Suppose, yeah, we can try for the infested wine cellar. Because he has 2 moth, then the tryst, that's 4. And then the, hold on. Do we have any... We do have, of course, the 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫, so that'd be 6 all. That'd be 10 already. But then if we go further with the with impulse, that'd be 12 then. Okay, so with the barber we can get into the gaping darkness as long as we sacrifice 𝐸𝐸𝐿. Speaking of, the immovable object versus unstoppable force is really simple. Basically both have equal infinite mass to justify the infinite momentum. They just Newton's cradle each other. Also, from the frame of reference of the unstoppable force, the immovable object is an unstoppable force approaching them. Well, could also be that, you know, the immovable object has infinite mass and the unstoppable force has infinite speed, but, you know, that kind of, at certain velocities things get funky, so, you know. But I think also, Orchard Keeper was autumn, yeah, exactly. For some reason I keep forgetting the name. I just vaguely have, like, in my mind, like, garden related, but yeah, Orchard Keeper was the name. Did we figure out how to make 𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐴? Oh, right, with insects and nectars and, honey. Probably cuckoo honey. So, insects and nectars. And then, you know, keeper level nectar recipe. Ooh, that's gonna be a bit difficult. Because cuckoo honey has, what, 3 nectar? So that's 9, and then we need 6 more. Health only has 1, so that means we need 5 more. I really don't know where you'd get 5 nectar from. Yeah, exactly. And even with the cuckoo honey, I don't really know how we'd get 15 nectar. But speaking of, actually, what other foodstuffs do we have that use moth? So we have the honey itself, of course. Do we have any moth drinks that aren't the 𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐴? No, not really. Except for, you know, the other really valuable ones. Well, I guess in that case, it's just our relatively good supply of 𝐸𝐸𝐿𝐴 that'll... Yeah, and even that, I mean, 2 would be great, but we don't have any 2 moth drinks. We don't even have any 1 moth drinks, so yeah. I mean... one second. Alright, precursor to sticky toffee pudding and to fudge. Actually, did we ever successfully create sticky toffee pudding? I don't know. But yeah, fudge. And then what more will we need? Because we're trying to get to 11 grail, right? This is 10. This is 11, yes. So the fudge will be 9. And then, oh yeah, right, the 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫. Or alternatively, what was it? The fragrant chalice tea. When does fragrant chalice, doesn't it grow in summer? Oh, and also the history plant. Yeah, fragrant chalice in summer. So yeah, actually let's use the fragrant chalice tea instead, because, you know, that one we can currently make as much as we want. Let's also gather some more history plants. Right, we can use a language to gather flowers, because sure, why not? What else? Okay, moth orchids. Do we already have any moth orchids on hand? No. Okay. So yeah, let's gather some more of those as well. Sure, we can gather a bit more history plants. There we go, there we go. Let's take advantage of the weather while it lasts. Right, the regular chalice tea. A nice drop. I can offer my assistants something to drink. This will increase their aspects. They'll also be glad of the refreshment. Also, yeah, cat's claw. Yeah, the 4 grail drink does have moth, but, you know, I don't really want to waste a 4 grail drink on, you know, 2 moth. That feels kind of, you know. Or wait, hold on. Do I know how to make ruby wise? No, I don't. Yeah, we can also get sea holly, we can get hares, we can get cat's claw. I know, trumpeter's lily in summer. I think we haven't had any of those in quite a while, so go, and let me actually take some. Yeah, exactly. Trumpeter's lilies. Okay, so... And, yeah, actually let's also gather some sea holly. With, I guess, insects and nectars. Or wait, drums and dances is low level, so... Alright. The Geminid 3. A fragile manuscript illuminated with twinned shapes of sad and luminous beauty, and with all the phases of the moon. It might be as old as the 7th century, but the language, Fuchin, is much older. coral decorates its cover, and its page edges are sharp enough to slash throat. Dangerous. Hold on. So, the 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿 3. The pages outline the nature and the doctrines of an hour that demands the union of what has been separated, an hour that is sought at the water's edge and beneath the moon, the witch and sister. The language is elusive, enigmatic, intricate. It'll take some untangling. Hold on, what the hell? Okay. Huh? Okay. Of an hour that demands the union of what has been separated makes sense. An hour that is sought at the water's edge and beneath the moon. Yeah, I think those are both pretty in character for the witch and sister. The third volume of the 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿 reminds us that the witch and sister have been known to manifest as the sister and witch, and that this face may heal, while the other face is always hungry. It implies connections between the witch and sister and the hours of the wood, especially the secret keeper called the Velvet, but it is ambiguous on whether the witch and sister is a wood hour proper, and it speaks at length about the sadness of the two who are one, the sadness that remains for from their time is flesh. Right, they were supposed to be sacrificed, I think, and then they fled across the waves, but then they, you know, decided themselves to jump off the ship, I think. Was it? Oh, yeah, yeah, it was the only book you can also use as a relic once you've read it, or as an instrument, rather. Yeah, here they're painted as they wish to draw on, exactly. Resurgences and Emergences, 2 of those, and a beguiling melody. Okay, cool. So that's another source of the beguiling melody. So that's a book, the 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿 3. Yep, okay. There we go. So this goes here then with the catalogued and documented works, and next up is the Opus Magnum Ceruleum. Okay. Which we want to do here. So we have Inks of Revelation, Bosts, and right, the 𝐸𝐻𝐿 lens, right? No, not the 𝐸𝐻𝐿 lens, the mirror scope. Lantern, Revelations. I can master this mystery. Enough mystery to enough lantern to match mystery lantern. There we go. Yeah, they're 2 different hours, but both of them. That's the funny thing, that the sister and witch and the sister and witch and sister, both of them are like 2 different hours that both consist of the same 2 people. So, you know, the sister and the witch, the 2 of them together are the sister and witch, and the 2 of them together are the witch and sister. And basically the difference between the 2 hours is kind of just which of the two you mentioned first, because they're, as you see here with the sister and witch, they're conjoined. And do we have a depiction of the witch and yeah, here. This is the witch and sister, and this is the sister and witch. Actually, I don't remember what their hours were. If someone watching wants to look that up, that would be cool, because I think they're next to each other, but I'm not sure. Maybe they're also, diametrically opposed, like, one of them is, for example, 6 and the other is 18 or something. I don't know. So that's that. We're gathering a whole bunch of stuff. We're still cooking there. Right, down to the croissants. And then the last thing we'll need is the fudge. Actually, hold on, doesn't... Ah, no, okay. Ah, okay, yeah, so they are indeed, diametrically opposed on the, clock face. Or I guess they're at the same position on the 12-hour clock face, but yeah. So yeah, one of them is 6 and the other then 18, if I understand correctly. So, funnily enough, the offhand example I gave was actually correct then. Funny how that works. Also, I just noticed there's like a thing here, but what is that? Is that like... That almost looks like 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫, but it's just part of the desk asset. Yeah, that's... right? Yeah, that's exactly the same asset, just slightly stretched, actually. Weird. Well, I mean, every narrator is unreliable to some extent. I certainly am. You've all heard me misspeak more than enough to attest to that. Your iron girl ink and a stack of parchment strips. Huh. Maybe. Speaking of, there's also a quire of paper here that I think I dropped there ages ago and just haven't touched since. Because honestly, I haven't really found that much use for just regular paper thus far. Oh yeah, of course, and we also have the lessons in resurgences and emergences, which means we have the beguiling memory, which we need intuition, right? Or satisfaction. Yeah, we need satisfaction from 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫's tasty treats. We need to save one of our Erebs for that. So let's use the shop here. 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫's tasty treats. There we go. Fruits of knowledge, literally, I guess, in this case. Okay. Quartz chunk. Okay. Sure. Fudge. All the bad things doing a good thing. Offer something to eat. I can offer my assistants something to eat. This will increase their aspects. It's also just friendly. And with that, we'll be able to get in here into the blackened staff room. Cool. Then, once we're done here, we can finally talk to Magister ℍ𝕠𝕦𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤. We're currently working at Sweet Bones. No, we're not. Let's fix that. Literally. Fixing and mending. And the quartz chunk, where do we put that? Probably here? Question mark. Let me move that. There we go. Then, yeah. That seems to be good. Okay. Here we go. The origins of ours. The sage and ecstatic Soham, a frequent visitor to the manses, claimed to have discoursed with the beach crow in person. Soham later insisted on a sky burial. This is also a book from Cultist Simulator, but I'm gonna note it down anyways, because this is one of those rarer books that you don't really get to read that often. Or, wait, no, actually, I think I've read this one quite a bit, but it's also very useful. Soham's writings veer from poetry to confession. He identifies gods from flesh, those who were mortal, gods from blood, those who arose from sacrifice, gods from light, entry from the glory, and from stone, those who arose before his knowledge. He insists that the moth was the first god who was blood, but later contradicts himself and claims it was the Red Grail. I mean, weren't they both born during the lithomancy? The mansis was different before the mansis was different before the first god came from light, but never doubt it existed even then. Yeah, the Watchman is stone, light, and blood, technically. Yeah. No, wait. I thought the Watchman was stone, light, and flesh, right? Because I think parts of the Watchman were once mortal? Question mark? A confounding parable. Oh, this is a new memory, at least, you know, one that we haven't noted down yet, I think. Hold on. Solace, Cheerful Ditty, Impulse, Beguiling Melody, Secret Threshold, Intuition, Satisfaction, Hindsight, Fear, Contradiction, Salt, Regret, Revelation, Touch, Sight, Foresight, Gossip, Old Moment, Curious Hunch. Yeah, that's new. So, what's this? Confounding Parable. The moth, the grail, and the egg unhatching all tell different stories of the world's beginning. One of those stories is the oldest, but it may not be the first. Abbess Nonna. So this is 2 moon, 2 rose, 2 sky. Pretty powerful for just a regular memory. 2 points moon. 2 points rose, 2 points sky. And source would be the book. What was this? On the Origins of Ours, right? Yeah. Or just the Origins of Ours. Could have sworn it was called On the Origins of Ours in Cultist Simulator. Yeah, I guess we can't ask her again anymore. Though, I don't think she was actually murdered. I think she just died of sickness, and then the people who failed to treat her were accused of murder. And we've gained a brand new lessons. Sacra Limie. Use this lesson to acquire a new skill. Right, because here the monastic superiors would meet to manage the affairs of St. Brandon's. Right, supposedly with perversions, executed for the murder of Abbess Nonna, supposedly with perversions of the healing arts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think, hold on, Abbess Nonna. Nonna has introduced 𝐲𝐩𝐩𝐸 to an unsanctioned thunderous and... Yeah, so she was the one who liked to get herself possessed by that thingy. By that 𝐲𝐩𝐸𝐸, I think. Oh, I don't remember. Oh, but also there's a recipe here for lethe draught, which can be brewed from another beverage with herbs and infusions techniques and a sufficient quantity of nectar. Oh, good to know. So, herbs and infusions... Where's my... Oh, probably currently at work, gathering. But, yeah, okay. So... The origins of ours, that one's also documented now, so we can put it here. Oh. I guess it doesn't fit here anymore. This shelf is, I think, technically also full, but maybe... we'll have to expand again. But where? Well, actually, hold on. Maybe we can... just... If we shimmy this stuff around a bunch... Maybe... come on. Okay. Okay, there we go. So yeah, now we've cleared this shelf. For books, we've already documented what they give us. 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝕠𝕬𝕤𝐻 are basically emotions that are strong enough to generate their own personality within you, sometimes consuming you. Ah, yeah. I remember, but they're also... yeah, they're also heartlong, so they were once presumably... Wait, were all long once mortal, or can long also be born within the mansis? I'm not actually so sure. Because usually when you think of a long, you think of, you know, a person who has ascended through the glory into immortality, but maybe there's also, you know, more more purely spiritual long? I'm not sure. Anyways. Yeah, the Inks of Revelation are still in use. But once we're done there, we can finally use them to craft more Uzult. Okay, so now 11 Grail, which is what we need to get in here. The blackened staff room, the same story as the yard below. Seared bones, blackened walls, furniture half consumed by fierce fire. But much of the room remains untouched. I thought they were simple mantis, but lantern long occupy mirrors instead of their bodies. Yeah, it's very complicated. I definitely know some long and some names don't have corporeal forms anymore, but maybe some of them never had one, and they're not actually mortals who ascended. I'm not so sure. But yeah, their 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝕠𝕬𝕤𝐻s are heartlong. That's the thing. Okay. We have Fragrant Chalice. We have 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝕠𝐴. 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝕠𝐴 eterna, the history plant, unlike its cousin, the century plant, blooms every year. Perhaps it will do so forever. Or wasn't this one the plant, the like, what was the name? The hallmark plant of Hush ℍ𝕠𝕬𝕤𝐿. Because there was like a thing about each library having... it was when we inspected the moth orchid that it's the signature plant, the signature flower of a different library, and I think the signature flower of Hush ℍ𝕠𝕬𝕤𝐿 was 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝕠𝕐𝕬𝕤𝕐𝕐 eterna. Moth orchid, the true moth, the flower that opens as it changes. Okay, so Fragrant Chalice, that's for tea, so let's put that one here, I guess. Oh, hold on, this is just a half picture, so... Ah, okay. Ah, right. Yeah, right, because it blooms so rarely. Yeah, I'm not definitely not a botanist, so I'll have to take your word for it. And yeah, actually, let's do the whole thingy of leaving the flowers where we gather them. Which actually means, hold on. Let's remove this from here again, and this from here, and what was it? blue crown is from here. But we obviously can't put it down here because frustratingly... well... okay. And then... well, I guess in that case we can just leave this here, after all. Yeah. Unlike, you know, the history plant, which apparently seems to, you know, at least since it blooms every year, I think the implication is that it survives blooming. That's also possible. I haven't dissected them in a while, so I don't know for sure, but... okay, so Trumpeter's Lily, a glorious efflorescence of sunset orange. Alright, I have like a ton of cat's claw here. Right, I'll water... and then this... oh yeah. Sacra Limie, the rites of an order of immortals who have tried to remain apart. These rites touch on secrets of hours of the Manses, chiefly gods who are flesh and gods from light. And to advance this... hold on. Right. This is... okay. So this was Satisfaction, which we can then use with the Beguiling Melody to advance Resurgences and Emergences. And the Confounding Parable, what could we use that for? Because sadly we can't dream on it. It's probably... yeah, I was also thinking maybe 𝐸𝐩𝐸𝐿𝐸 because, you know, one of the tracks, of the soundtrack is literally called 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, so... this is Sky Moth. Well... oh, this is Sky, so, yeah, let's use it for that, actually. And, 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, which what can we use 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 for again? I don't think we can make, what's it? Candles out of 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, we tried that already. Yeah, maybe. It's also just, you know, because it's on the sea or something. I don't know. And then, alright, the Isle Water, let's put that back here. Speaking of which, can we draw some more up today? I don't think so, right? Yeah, we'd need heart, which we're all out of. Okay. We... oh, still doing that here. Okay. Fixing and mending. As they used to say in my youth, the day is done and so am I, but I've earned my pay. This we need Tryst, so the Whist we can use here. There we go. That's level 3 now, nice. Birth and death are only directions. Between the two we find a crossroads. And also, before I forget, a conversation with Magister Huckebald. And this is what you call summer? Pathetic. Don't make me stand around out here. If there's an incident card active, you can discuss it, or just leave the slot empty and offer a consultation. You are aware what the king is at. I suppose it will do well enough. Now, he's an honored guest of Hush House. We won't kill him until we have our next salon. I have a general idea of what the royal endeavor entails, of course, but I would like to refresh my understanding of a few minor details. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. Okay, so he wants, Forge Mastery Forge. What's like the lowest we can go with Forge? 6. 6. Do we have any Mastery 4? Ah, Visance Minglings, or alternatively, yeah, I think Visance Minglings is the lowest we have, so let's give him that. Yes, this has been quite satisfactory, especially considering the sad state of affairs which persists in this house. I make no complaint. Good day. I don't think I've met Azita yet. Alright, here we go. Opus Magnum Ceruleum. Ambrose Westcott used to render the title of this venerable and anonymous work mockingly as the Big Blue Business. A kinder translation would be the great work in Azure. Mm-hmm. For some reason, whatever. And then the reason for Westcott's enmity to this work are clear to any hieroglyphicist. It was written at least 2 centuries before he was born, but anticipates or undermines many of his preferred conclusions. Ah, I see. God damn it, why does it... Used to be that triple click highlights in Visual Studio Code, which I use to take my notes because I'm deeply deranged. Used to be that triple click highlights an entire line, but for some reason now it only highlights a line as it is displayed, and I obviously have you know, automatic brakes on the lines on, which means it only highlights a small section of the line, which is unbelievably annoying. I need to find a way to reverse that setting. The work in question is the creation of the blue gold, allegedly necessary for the terrible rite which allows a forge long to become a name. Ah! Yes, we're quite familiar. The book mentions that hieroglyphics techniques can be used with Forge to create iotic essence as a necessary component, but without this final step, insisting that the consequences are too dire and that any interest should remain only a matter of theory. Yes, blue gold, which we would know as uranium. Because, yes, ascending from Forge Long to Forge Name literally involves building and detonating a nuclear bomb. I'm not making this up. This is literally what you do. You build a nuke and then you detonate it. Maybe also enriched cobalt, but yeah, it's definitely it's fission rods. But I mean, uranium by itself isn't blue, but it does give off blue not Hawking radiation. Blue light. That's like by far the funniest of the Apostle, or just the coolest of the Apostle things, because you just halfway realize, wait a second, am I building a nuke here? And now in the Lucid Tarot, also the Forge of Days, its symbol is literally a nuclear explosion with, the radiation sign. Hieroglyphics and memory foresight. Okay. Foresight, from book. This was Opus Magnum Serialum. And yeah, we've also noted that down. Right, so here we use hieroglyphics and iotic essence and oh no, just iotic essence, not blue gold itself. Okay, cool. Because iotic essence, what was that one? Which one was that one again? This is Icrovitreous, this is Icroauroral, this is Xanthotic Essence. Okay, I'm guessing we can use Iotic Essence also to create another ink of thingies. Yes, and in fact, you do need to nuke yourself, or, an apostle of yours needs to nuke themselves into nowhere for you to ascend from Forge Long to Forge Name. I think that one is just the anti-victory of the crowned growth. The nowhere ascension, which is, they call it an anti-victory, but really it's a game over, because it's just what happens if your hunger overwhelms you. In the graveyard mouth card, the appetite aspect warns you that do not ever let this reach 7. The game may end, and not the game may end and not prettily, or something like that. Yeah, it's at least I'm not familiar with any others, and it is, the reason they're calling it an anti-victory is because it's technically still an ascension into immortality, getting consumed into the crowned growth. You're still immortal. Oh, hello also, Billy Boy. Yes, no, we're not harboring any bass for beans here. Definitely not. Run! Quickly! But yes. So, which is also funny, because essentially, they say don't let this reach 7 or it's game over, and, it functions essentially just like the marks in the regular ascension, when the 7th mark means you ascend to immortality, and there also, the 7th mark of your appetite means you ascend to immortality, but not exactly in a way you would like to. Okay, so we get hieroglyphics and also how to make iotic essence. In effect, we need hieroglyphics and what was it again? technique can be used with Forge to create iotic essence. Okay, but no additional component? Maybe there is one and they've just not mentioned it. That would be kind of weird. Anyways, yeah. Opus magnum ceruleum. Ceruleum. I'm not good at pronouncing Latin stuff. Or is it ceruleum? Yeah, right. And then... Don't know if we still have enough time, but honestly, who cares? Let's make some more Uzult, shall we? Oh, wait, no, we're out of Fost. Never mind. We'll do that tomorrow. And then Foresight. How much hieroglyphics do I currently have? 3. Okay, so... Yeah, hold on. Theoretically... we still have enough time to get hieroglyphics 1 higher. So... Foresight, obviously... hold on. Curious hunch. Oh. Huh? Oh, huh? Do I have... Oh, okay, I see now. Okay, that was kind of strange, but I think that was just some oddness in the way I organize my stuff here. No, not the Ascended Harmony Revelation. Okay, so just letters to my successor. There we go. Letters to my successor, and then just inspecting another painting. Like, for example, Lady Tryphon. I don't think we've... Yeah, I don't think we've inspected that one yet. Select me. Ah, yeah, no, I haven't played Exile. That's the one legacy I haven't played at all yet. I've completed all legacies except Dancer. I only got the Ever After Me there yet. I haven't done the Change Victory, and Exile is the only one I haven't played at all yet. But I definitely intend to, because it looks pretty interesting, from what I've seen. Okay, more Serpentinite slabs. Great. Really no luck with the mushrooms. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's few people who like Cocobalt by the way he's behaving. Alright. Night has fallen, dawn will come soon. Wait, didn't I... Oh, right. The... Damn, but I don't have enough time to... Well, I suppose it's fine. have just enough time to at least start both of these. So first up would be the 𝐲𝐞𝐚𝐫 with the confounding parable. Then next up would be the hieroglyphics. Yeah, the romances are also the things I definitely want to 100% call the simulator, even though, you know, the ever after is probably gonna be a bit grindy. But honestly, I'm not actually that sure, because like if you know what you're doing, you can probably speedrun the game much quicker than than the usual fare. It's just that I am almost always very thorough, so my runs clock in at quite a few more hours than they probably need to. The affair of the Royal Endeavour. Yes, this has been quite satisfactory, especially considering the sad state of affairs which persist in this house. I make no complaints. Good day. A bronze spintrier, thank you very much. Right, the book, of course. 𝐲𝐶𝐽𝐫𝐿's card, and the affair of the Royal Endeavour. Okay, let's note that sucker down. Note 𝐲𝐶𝐽𝐫𝐿's address for what you might call an occult correspondence. A long car ride, you say? But will they come when they do call, when you do call for them? All right, 𝐲𝐶𝐽𝐫𝐿's address. A reluctantly disclosed P.O. box in Dover. 𝐲𝐶𝐽𝐫𝐿 of ℍ𝐿𝐿 flatly refuses to respond to an invitation from the librarian unless it's written in the great ink known as ℍ𝐿𝐿 exultant. Okay, sure thing. Sure, dude. Sure. Oh no, that means we won't be able to invite him back. Oh, damn. Oh, that's so sad. But we do actually need to invite him back, because if we want to learn Deep Mendaic. Ink of the Fourth History. Okay, good to know. I guess we'll figure it out in due time. Okay, so now we're after the revelation here. And also, damn, I just realized I completely forgot to read the text for that painting, but oh well. I guess the more important thing was the memory site, so... Foresight, and then metal. Wow, we used almost all of our soul cards today, which is pretty impressive considering how many we have now. Isan, yeah, this is my first playthrough, so I really have no idea what ending I'm going for. I'm currently just expanding Hush House. Oh, and I've just realized we have a new room. Staff room. The warders at Brancrack were cut above your usual prison warden. Former bureau constables, repentant no, turncoat Dragulari, that's a new word. Veterans of the Legion du Sel. 𝐲𝐩𝐩𝐸. Cell. What's that mean again? I first thought that was Légion de Sol, but which would be, you know, of the sun, but Sol, I don't know. When the end came, none of that mattered. But when the end came, none of that mattered. But here, for a while, when the winter storms battered the walls, they hunkered close to this glowing stove to share tea and comradeship and stories of their very different lives. Okay, so, yeah, unsurprisingly, the wardens here were eradicated when whatever broke out, broke out. Soil. I can look that up on my own time. We have the staff room stove, which is, you know, just a fireplace, a regular one. We have some Dawnline coffee. We have, what's this? Severe chair, unfussy marsh green upholstery. We have a tiny potted tree, tiny as a ship in a bottle, some more Dawnline coffee, a staff armchair, polished by the posterior of dozens of loafing prison guards. And then we have some wall art. Oh no, actually fixed in place stuff. Dartboard, the thock of darts punctuated the long evenings and drifted down the corridor to the grilled doors of the cells. The ex-Tragulari always won, but rather soon none of the other guards would play with them unless they agreed to a blindfold. Again, I don't know, I don't think we've heard Tragulari before. Yeah, I mean, considering I stream like Book of Hours twice a week for, you know, a few hours. Yeah, but I think that's the first we've heard of them, I think. Well, hold on, let me check. Tragulari. Yeah, that's, no mention of it in my notes. Key hooks. All the keys of all the cells still hang here. I can unlock them all at my leisure, but the most significant cells of the cucurbit were protected by more than locks. The least cells I shouldn't trouble with. The keys to most cells are labeled Adept Long WI and unhelpfully ? WI. What could that be? So Adept Long WI. Huh. Anyways, we've unlocked some more, right, the Worm-Eaten Hall. Sealed cell. A sign outside this cell reads, Warning, do not insert keys without first invoking adequate authorization. The key is in the staff room, but I shouldn't turn it without invoking powers to provide a reasonable facsimile of authorization. There's a picture here. Interesting. Smoky chamber. The room is almost untouched, but little fires still burn here, blithely ignoring the absence of fuel, filling the room with 7 years of smoke. That's ominous. But, yeah, okay, so 2 new rooms unlocked, or, I guess, not unlocked, accessed, gained access to, I guess. Now. Daybreak. Memories fade, assistance departs, but the soul is refreshed. But, yeah, I'm looking at the time right now, and I think this is probably a good place to quit for today. However, there are a few things we can already set in motion. For example, making some more Ashertine, 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐷 ink, rather. Oh, I really do need. Yeah, but okay, craft 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐷. Damn, it's genuinely crazy that we only need the FOST and the xanthotic essence now to create it. We don't even need a memory or something else. Craft 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐷, brighten the essence into the 𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐷 terminale 𝐲𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐷. And then let's check what the weather brings today. Sunny. Okay. We can perhaps craft some more sky stuff with this. Or alternatively... Well, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, because, yeah, none of the rooms take sky, or lantern for that matter, so yeah. But that's fine. Yes, I do have House of Light. In fact, oh yeah, that's a good point. It's a new season now, which means that next time we'll be able to do yet another salon. But yeah, I do have, even though I only started playing last year, I did buy the game at launch, so I do have the Perpetual Edition. Okay. But, yeah, let's just, as a last thing, wait on this to complete. The skill is now level 4. Its power aspects have also increased. I'm wondering, the Iotic Essence is probably level 4 Forge, which means, Scholar level Forge, which means, we'll need 10 Forge. Metal plus Hieroglyphics, that's 7 already, plus, a tool, that's 8 plus, memory, that's everything. For example, Foresight. So yeah, we can actually... Visant's Minglings. That's just... as the last thing... this thing. Visant's Mingling with Whist. Okay, but that's that. Well then. Save... oh, wait, no. Save and quit. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can remember my outro narration. It's been a while. But yes, the time has come for us to acknowledge an ending. It has been my pleasure to be your host tonight. Oh, wait, I just remembered something. Mayhap we could raid someone. Hold on. Not seeing anyone. Oh, hold on. There is someone who's currently playing Book of Hours as well. So... let's actually raid that. Yeah, there we go. Alright. The time has come for us to acknowledge an ending. It has been my pleasure to be your host tonight, and if you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to perform those rites of algorithmic appeasement upon the stream. I hope to see you all again soon, and until then, safe travels, and have a nice night.